Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. You hear it. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Boston Scientific, streaming live from Hattie B's Hot Chicken. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! There will be no construction. There will be no makings of the chicken. We good to go today, y'all. We good to go today. We got some OTA action from yesterday, and that will be today's show. No roundup. Cowboys wrap up their first media portion session of practice / walkthrough. Not a whole lot really going on, but you can kind of get a sense of where the team is thinking, where they're heading with certain players, certain position groups. And we'll dive into all of that, man. Let me say this prior to getting into talking about the Nuggets here. This portion of OTAs really isn't about, so-and-so beat so-and-so one-on-one. It really isn't. There's no pass. There really isn't much competition going on. But I do think you can get a lot from, where is this player at? When is this player coming in? What is this position group doing? And whatnot. So those are kind of the things that I took away from OTAs, not necessarily any type of competitive situation. And a lot of the, analysts down there, or not the analysts, the insiders down there kind of did the same thing. So we'll take a look at all of that and talk about it together, Cowboys Nation. Now, yesterday, I didn't get a chance to get to everybody on the phone line, so make sure you get in here, 351-999-3787. I'm going to try to allow today to be Fan Friday of sorts. And, we'll get B from the Cochran Firm coming in a little bit later as well. And prior to jumping into the notes, we will hear from Dak and Mike McCarthy. But first, what's good, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
What's up, Stephen White? Swain in the building. Yeah, Swain, I got to get back to my hashtag Hear Me Out segment. It kind of got taken over by the hot take segment, which – hashtag Hear Me Out on my hot take segment coming up a little bit later. Joe Sandberg in the building. Professor O, what's goody? CJ, I see ya. Who else up in here? 6081 Boy, Sean Springer, Campbell, Holbrook, Bobby Yellis, B47 Vic. Some Facebook in the building too. I see you, Miss Deborah. Tom says, Sky, is there a Saturday show? Where my camera at? Huh? Nah, ain't no Saturday show, man. But we'll be I think we're going to drop a video tomorrow. But there will not be a Saturday show. Also, we won't be here Monday either. What's good, B. Bird? Let me tell you something real quick. I forgot my mouse, so I'm using my keypad here. I would never, ever again take for granted how important the damn mouse is to do all this stuff here. Boy, I tell you. All right, let's get into this Cowboys information, Cowboys Nation. Again, 351-999-3787 is the call-in line if you want to get in here and talk about all the goodness from OTAs. So before we get into the actual notes, we'll take a look at some of what Pat had to say, a little bit of what Gelkin had to say, but we got a chance to listen to a lot of the players. And I'm not going to pour everything into today's show because we still got some content we got to get to on Monday. So we'll take a look at some of the other players' interviews on Monday. But I wanted to piece together, Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott's kind of pressers or whatnot, because they said some things in their press conference. And I think from what I'm gauging from the media or the radio, people are taking the wrong part again. I mean, this tends to happen in Dallas media, probably in media in general. We want to talk about the thing that garners the most ire, right? That gets people fired up from they fighting. Like, that's what people really want to click on, and that's what gets ratings. Me, it's the nuance. It's the nuance of things that get me going. I don't give a damn about all that other stuff. And one of the things that Mike McCarthy and Dak talked about is something that we have constantly talked about here on this show for, 2-3 years? And that's purpose. That's dribbling with the purpose. But Mike McCarthy called it PCP. You know, he called it smack, angel dust, booger sugar. He called it PCP, play, calling, purpose, Cowboys Nation. So let's take a listen to Mike McCarthy specifically talking about that. And then I got it lined up. All right, cool. I got it lined up. And then we're here with Dak Prescott had to say surrounding that as well. Here is Mike McCarthy. Boom, boom. Talking about that in general.
Piggybacking on that, how much more time have you spent with Dak this year than past?
I mean, more than obviously the past. So I, frankly, just with, not enough. I mean, it's never enough. Just, like I'm here right now, I'm missing a damn quarterback meeting. I got to look at your hat and all this nonsense stuff that I have to deal with. But no, but yeah, just absolutely. I mean, it's important. And I'm not really worried about the football part of it. The everyday football as far as the drills, scheme, and because. I'm able to be. It's just more the collaboration of, calling the game. Hey, how do you see this play? This is how I see it. This is where I think. We have a thing called PCP, and just really the purpose of the play call purpose, PCP, and it's one thing to learn to play and the intricacies of play, but I think when they know, you're continuing to anticipate when and where and it's going to be called. I think that's just stronger communication and connection that the quarterback and the player caller needs to have.
I mean, again, that type of stuff fires me up. A lot of the – let me close this here. Boom. A lot of radio people probably don't care about that, but y'all know that means a lot to me because here on this show, we often would watch the film together. I'm not just saying this, right? We would watch the film together and go, this doesn't add up. This doesn't make sense. We're kind of just doing things. Even if it works, it's like, hey, this worked. This is great. Let's come back to this. Let's build off of it. And next thing you know, when we're doing our Tape Tuesdays, we're like, oh, yeah, we did run that back in week 1, but it's week 12. Oh, we did run that back in week 3, but it's week 10. And it's like, I know you can't run everything all the time, but I think you do have to have a purpose to what you're doing so you can build off of that. And there just seems to be a level of consistency from the head coach to Schottenheimer, and we'll hear from Dak in a second, to Dak, to where they're all about, it was Schottenheimer earlier saying family of plays and whatnot, and then now you hear McCarthy talking about these purposes, these plays having a purpose to build up to what's coming next, and then Dak Prescott follows that up. Now, Dak talked about a lot of things here. It's about a minute and a half clip, so here's Dak Prescott kind of following up on Mike McCarthy's dribbling with the purpose comments. Well, I would never take for granted a mouse. Woo-wee. Come on, click. My bad, y'all. And boom, here we go.
How much more time are you and him communicating?
A ton. I mean, just on the simple fact that he's the play caller now. So
Right.
just being able to understand and being in the same wavelength and understanding why he's calling the play, what's the purpose of that play, and what he expects out of that, and just making sure that we're on the same accord there. And
good,
it has to be that constant communication. As we just said, as he just broke, and we said, you know what, go look at everything we put in, make sure that we're running the things that you like and the things that we're good at, and if it's something that right, you're just a little iffy about it, let's get it out. Let's master what we're great at. So just having that clear communication and being able to work with him day in and day out, as I said, it's new, it's refreshing, and it's fun for both of us.
You find yourself calling him at night or just while you're here?
No,
I'm good.
Clarence Hill be doing that.
I see him enough.
He mentioned purpose, you mentioned purpose. What's the big deal about knowing the purpose of a particular play?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the details and just the accountability and discipline within the play that all 11 guys have to have, understanding.
Let me say this real quick. Dak Prescott tired of y'all shit. So he was a little chippy earlier or later on in this little in this presser or whatnot. But listen to what he said overall about this whole thing. He's so good at not really trying to throw nobody under the bus, but saying, "Look, man, everybody got to be on the same damn page." Let me see if I can rewind this a little bit. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the details and just the accountability. and discipline within the play that all 11 guys have to have, understanding their role and understanding, hey, if they're a clear out or if they're really just eating up a window or eating up a guy to open up that space, and for that guy to understand to not kill his window, right, and to open it up. And I mean, it's some things I guess some of these young guys may have not have heard, and you see it clicking, you see it understanding just early on. Some of these plays have it's just been good, and you can see it and you can feel it and you understand that everybody is locked in. Everybody is buying into the purpose of it and the purpose of their role, which overall allows us to play faster and play cleaner.
Oh, man. Like, are we all hearing and understanding and taking this in, Cowboys Nation? This is big, man. And let me, again, and it's not just him. It's not just McCarthy. It's not just Shoddy. Shout out to Landlord from Alabama. MC Hammer, Tyson West Coast, HTM. They brought on Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert flat out came out and said the same things we've been saying the whole time, the same things that McCarthy was saying about, things just being easier now and not having to think about, because there's a purpose for each player that, okay, this is what I got to do, not I'm thinking about what I got to do in the middle of the play. McCarthy said my secret sauce is to make him play faster by not thinking. Dak Prescott, faster, cleaner. McCarthy, it allowed him to play faster, cleaner. Jalen Tolbert, faster. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Look, it might not feel like a sexy top-ish offense or whatever to a lot of people, and especially the big media, the big wig media, because to them, the Cowboys have lost their golden child, their smartest guy in the room, the young up-and-coming offensive coordinator. To them, hey, man, he traded away Amari Cooper, but y'all only got an older Brandon Cooks. They don't even realize he still got it. But to them, you lost Dalton Schultz. But they don't see the nuance that the Cowboys have acquired that will help you elevate everybody. And it's because of that nuance, Cowboys Nation, that my Hattie B's hot take today. It's a very familiar one, but I'm gonna take it a step further. Before I get into that, though, Hattie B's, I'm down here right now, downtown in a new location. By the way, it was founded back in 2012 in Nashville, but they have built the new location here in Deep Ellum. I mean, it fits the vibe of Deep Ellum. If you've been down here in Dallas, you know there's just this culture, there's this character to Deep Ellum that Hattie B's has fit in very well. But not only that, they provide fantastic food for you, right? You can come down here and try all types of levels of their heat. I'm chilling on the hottest, but if some folk want to tempt it, you can try the hottest, which is shut the clock up. I ain't had to tell them that today, though, and that's cool. So make sure y'all come down here at Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Get yourself a nice little, lunch, dinner, whatever you want to do. If you're out with the lady or the man, come through. But do me a favor. This is all I need y'all to do. If you want to get a $10 free gift card, sign up on Hattie B's. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. You'll get the money. Sign up on Hattie B's. Use our code and let me know, man. And you guys will receive $10 to come down here and treat yourself. Here is my Hattie B's hot take, which, again, something I kind of said earlier in the offseason just based off of this. I think Dak Prescott will have a career regular season year. Yes. And I'm using the term regular season because we understand postseason is a different animal. Postseason, he could be Jalen Hurts in the first couple rounds, and that's not really career. He can be that and still get to the Super Bowl. But regular season, and here's why. Number one, you've got a singularity from a philosophy standpoint. There is no longer two philosophies clashing here. Okay? Number one. Number two, from a weaponry standpoint, I think there's an added element that has not been here. And I'm not just talking about in the Dak Prescott era. I'm talking about in the Tony Romo era. I'm talking about, dating far back. And I'm talking about the explosiveness aspect in spades. In spades. For years, whether it be from the running back and the wide receivers and the tight ends, let's just be real. It's kind of been a bogged down type of offense that relied on some big plays from their guys like a Des Bryant who has that ability to go up and get the rock, or a guy like Ezekiel Elliott after his first year wasn't the same in that big play ability, but he can kind of wear you down and then boom, play action, you get over the top. Now, I don't think they're going to have to do a bunch of that. Brandon Cooks brings a totally different element to this offense that'll open so many things up, not just for him, but for everybody else. Tony Pollard's the featured back now. Dallas has never had a featured back like this since Zeke in 2016. I will put Zeke on that level because Zeke was still, he still had it like that. Oh, but not only just TP, but then you got Deuce Vaughn added to the equation. And let's not forget about CeeDee Lamb, who can do everything for you offensively. So I just think there's an added element to this to this offense that'll help elevate everybody. And obviously, if it's elevating everybody, it'll elevate Dak Prescott. And I mean that from an efficiency standpoint. And then finally, man, one of his famous words was pressure. Not his famous words. Was it pressure is privilege? Right? Remember that a couple years ago. There is pressure. We need to acknowledge there's definitely pressure on him, on this team in general. But between the talent, the added element, and combining it with that pressure, I don't think this is something that's going to sink these guys. I don't. I think sink him. I think this is something that is going to elevate him in general. This dude doesn't run from the pressure. I mean, yes, it may not work out, but he doesn't run from it. And I like that about the quarterback. I like that he has a bit of an edge right now, and I don't mind him playing with that edge. And I said this to shout out to 2i yesterday. We talked about this on Twitter. The edge that I think he's displaying, or feels like I'm just gauging, isn't an edge of, oh, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw it 50 times and I'm going to show y'all. It's more of an edge of, I'm tired of hearing this, which he should be. So I'm going to go out here and get it done through hell or high water, and I am the hell and high water. Shout out to Eli. So that's Mike McCarthy. That's Dak Prescott talking about PCP, the booger sugar of the offense, play calling purpose. Let's hit these phone lines here in a quick second. Oh, here we go. 718 already on the horn. What's good, 718? Hold on. I ain't got no mouse. Let me fix this all up. All right, you in there now. 718, you got to turn down your house, bro. Yeah, we going to go ahead and hang up on 718. That ain't working out. That ain't working out for you, 718. You got to either unmute me and then turn down your house so you can hear me. Let's get back to the chat. Campbell said, I think they're going to have a really good season this year. Just a good feeling about it. Oh, I don't think there's a doubt about it. I think this team is going to be good and have a good season. This is more so about what happens in the post. Always. Especially when it comes to this team. All right, let's get 832. Is this my guy from yesterday?
Which guy you talking about, Scott?
That was
the guy that had the laughing fit. I'm
that
sorry,
was rolling.
Man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Hey, just real quick first, I apologize. That's really not me, man. That's really not me. I apologize. I'm emotional, and sometimes it don't happen often, but sometimes, man, something will catch me and I'm gone. I ain't laughed like that hard in a long time. Last time I laughed like that, I was at an On Air J concert in Houston.
Oh, he's hilarious.
And I went off like that like 10 minutes straight. So it'll happen, but not often. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
Hey, look! Do not apologize, man. It was awesome. I'm glad I could bring laughter. It really wasn't me. It was him. But I'm glad this show could bring some laughter to you, brother. But what you got today?
Hey, man, what I got, man, I've always felt myself, man, this should be, offensively, there should be a direct line from head coach to offensive coordinator to quarterback. I don't know, it used to be back in the day, I'm old school with it, it used to be back in the day, head coach talked to the quarterback directly.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever the hell and the offensive coordinator, that's kind of another layer. That's delegated responsibility, whatnot. But man, offensively and defensively, you want your quarterback thinking about winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
and offensive coordinators, again, they kind of some of them got their own agendas. And we saw that, with Kevin Moore last year. I'm not going to drag on Kevin Moore and dog on him and stuff like that because, again, that he kind of got undermined himself by having, that kind of sidebar with the Joneses and stuff. Well, he was going to be this guy. He was going to be that guy. He had too much. He had autonomy he should not have had, I guess I'm going to say. I love that at the end of the day, Mike McCarthy is the one that's talking to Dak Prescott. I don't care if Schottenheimer calls the play or not. I don't care if Mike McCarthy calls the play or not. I think that's interchangeable, but that's incidental to me. What has to happen is because Mike McCarthy has the experience and the knowledge, particularly as an offensive coach and a play caller, I want him teaching Dak to see the game and to think the game the way he sees it and the way he thinks it. So that would help Dak play faster. And I love what Dak said and Mike McCarthy too about, man, everybody in the offense ain't got no option. You run a play, somebody got to run over the middle, somebody got to attack the safety, somebody got to sit down. Everybody don't run their own damn route. So Dak don't stand back there patting the football and you hear these knuckleheads talking about Dak late, Dak high with the ball, Dak doing this. Yeah, Dak doing that because Dak trying to figure out which cat goes in and which cat goes bad.
I mean,
they're trying to figure out if I could go, and some of them won't run across the safety space because they got the option to make a business decision like C.D. Lamb. Ain't mad at them. It's just too many people got too much going on. Hold
up. Damn, why didn't we think about that during the season? So what you just said was kind of fire. Because you're right, dog. The option thing was ridiculous, but you said we done gave C.D. Lamb the option of making a business decision. God damn it. That's true. That's true, because too many times you saw him like, hey, fam, cross his face. He's like, nah, dog, I'm good. I'm going behind him, yeah.
Exactly, man, exactly. That's not CD's fault. Again, you let people make their own decisions, they going to make them. And as it relates to how you going to execute offensively, I'm going to say this and let you go, man. I got so frustrated with and Tony Pollard was a weapon or a big piece to our offense. Yeah. He goes down in that San Francisco game. We can't do jack shit. I don't want to hear that no more. What did Sean McVay do in the Super Bowl? All the Rams had in that Super Bowl was Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
And what did Sean McVay do? He found a way to get the football to Cooper Kupp.
Bro, he threw the Cooper Kupp about 25 times. But we threw it to C.D. Lamb about same. C.D. Lamb
yeah. I'm not digging and dissing on the players. They get enough heat. I like the fact we got somebody with some sense, calling plays, running the offense. I'm glad. I am so happy to hear them say that. And you're right. They kind of sneaked this Kelly, but they said what they needed to say without saying it was his fault. We need to play football. We don't need to get out here and try to reinvent wheels and try to find a square root of infinity and all of this nonsense. Yeah. Everybody ain't got no business out there calling the plays for Dak. Dak needs to hear from the coach what we're going to run. Dak relays that as a play call, and he gets out there and does it. If you're supposed to run across, you're supposed to run your route a shallow cross. Run the shallow damn cross. Don't stop because you think you see somebody, the safety drop a little bit, so you get to sit down. That's why everybody running a curl route. Yeah. Because you see somebody back up and everybody sits down. That's crazy.
Hey, man.
Come on with your show, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna try to make sure I don't have that laughing fist no more. But man, keep your man off the phone. He's gonna sell Michael Parsons off for a sea of piss from stick of bubblegum. He's crazy.
He done with that one. Appreciate you, big dog.
All right, man. Go ahead. So I'm gonna get off, man. Go ahead.
Man, that I mean, a lot was real there, and I just have to say this because it's not just him. He's a quarterback. We talking about him today, so that's not fair. You gotta get out of here. But everyone, again, I urge y'all to go watch the Jalen Tolbert interview. Jalen Tolbert talked about. Now he's a rookie, so maybe it ain't as fair. Hell, go watch Simi Falco talk to Kevin Gray. Another young guy or whatnot. Who, by the way, he showed out, and I got to get to these notes here in a second. But I just think this is going to be good for everyone, and it took so long for Kellen to say, all right, we're going to stop doing this with CD and maybe do it with someone else or whatnot. Now, again, he was put in a tough situation because CeeDee Lamb was really their only guy. But far too many times you saw him running that damn option route, which they didn't hate. It's not like they hated the option route and it didn't work from time to time. But when you got into that rut where it is causing catastrophic, mishaps, you have to change something up. And nothing was changed, man. And we'll get a little bit of change. That's why the 35% that McCarthy's talking about, I can tell you right now, some of that percentage is 100% the option routes. There's not going to be that everybody do what they want to do by reading the defense when you get out there at an alarming rate. He said this was the most aggressive, this is his quote, not mine, the most aggressive option route system from a standpoint of everybody doing it that he's ever seen. He's been around more football than Kellen Moore has been alive. So I'm just saying. All right, I don't want this whole show to be about that. We really were supposed to go through these notes. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick little turn. We're just going to read Patrick No C Walker's. We got it. Patrick No C Walker's notes from OTAs. Come on now. Come on back in here. Here we go. You probably cannot read this that well on the phone. Apologies, but if you have the computer, you can. But I'll read them out loud with you. Or we'll kind of just go through them a little bit here. Number one, and this isn't in any order of importance or anything like that. This is, matter of fact, let me switch it up real quick if y'all don't mind. Let's talk about who was not at practice first with Michael Gelkin. Cowboys players not seen on the field for voluntary OTAs include Trayvon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence, Malik Hooker, Jordan Lewis, Jonathan Hankins, Brian Anger for varying reasons. Diggs' absence, not contract related, a person familiar with the situation. Again, first, open media portion of OTAs. We have not heard anything negative from a injury standpoint, but we do know Jordan Lewis had suffered a Achilles injury, or Liz Frank or foot injury, so he could still just be getting through with that. Steele was there, which I thought was interesting. Terrence Steele was there. He didn't start or do anything like that or practice, but he was on the cords. He's working on the sides. In fact, here's a picture right here. Here's a picture. Tony Pollard made a planned exit about 20 minutes into action, and Pollard jogged through the team drills, which is consistent with expectations at this stage in his recovery from leg fracture. Also, Terrence Steele appears in excellent shape, but took only mental reps. Man, I want to jump to that damn offensive line thing real quick, but we're going to go back here. So those were guys who were there and who were not there. Let's get back to Pat's list here. Number one, he says, keep an eye on Deuce Vaughn as more than just a gadget back, especially if the first round of OTAs are any indication. One play in particular, Vaughn was sent on a go route. Will Greer hit him on a 45-yard pass play. Apparently, if you listen or read, it was underthrown, but Vaughn was able to adjust and grab it. Apparently, that was the play of the day. So Deuce Vaughn making early impressions to the media already. Number two, Tony Pollard, tracking well in his recovery from a broken leg. He says Thursday, that's a sign he'll be a full go sooner rather than later. So we should see Tony Pollard most likely for mini camp. Maybe what's today's date? Mini camp is about 2 weeks away, a week or so away. We might see TP, man. We might see him at mini camp. If not, we'll damn sure see him at training camp. Which, a few months ago we got that nugget that Tony Pollard and Terrence Steele are on track for training camp. Things you love to hear. Kevontae Turpin. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, Kevontae Turpin. Not to be left out of the offensive mix, and here's what the first real kind of is Kevontae Turpin, who was seen numerous times lining up for reps that were not exclusive to return duties. I expect we'll see more of this as the Cowboys work to try and get Turpin more involved on offense when it matters, when it makes sense to pull the trigger. This lines up with what we were talking about over the last number of weeks, right? Kevontae Turpin is going to have to make an impression or be a part of this offense if he's going to make this team. Well, Sky, was it because of the kickoffs? Well, according to Kevontae Turpin, did he put the quote in here? Oh, he didn't put the quote in here. All right, so speaking of Turpin, this is what he says about the kickoffs. There are questions from those outside of the building regarding a possible battle in the return game between Deuce Vaughn, but that's not the plan inside the building, which is likely why Turpin was a return 100% of the reps. He didn't put it in there. So apparently, Patrick asked Kevontae Turpin about returning. And he said, what you going to do, man? The new rules, They want everybody to fair catch. He said, I ain't fair catching a goddamn thing. Y'all could go on here with the fair catch. I'm taking it out. So early on, we'll see KaVontae Turpin taking these things out. Hopefully, he can take one to the crib. But KaVontae Turpin getting some offensive reps. And I'm hoping it's not just for flash, because we saw him get some offensive reps in training camp last year. And I'm like, here's my antennas. He had a couple of nice catches downfield. And then we get to the regular season, and he played like 16 snaps. So hopefully this KaVontae Turpin could be not just for the speed factor or whatnot, but for him. Because of KaVontae Turpin, man, seriously, if he can't be a part of the offense in some capacity, it's tough to keep a guy that all he's doing is returning. He's not returning touchdowns. 5, it's early, but Michael Gallup looks eerily back to form in his OTAs. There's a noticeable spring in his step that was absent in 2022 as he returned from a torn ACL. But Thursday's practice saw him targeted heavily by Dak Prescott, and Gallup's routes were crisp, and his ability to high point the ball was effortless. Apparently, he's thinking less, trusting his body more. That's something we talked about yesterday, me and Pat, on the Scientific Method segment, right? Was if you go look at the 2021 film, which I don't have it in this laptop, but if you go look at the 2021 film from Michael Gallup, there was a different snap coming out of the routes. There was a different snap going for the ball. There was obviously more trust in his body. And then you can watch him in 2022, and it's like, that's not there. So if Michael Gallup has that spring back, he could be the biggest wild card, I think, offensively. You could maybe argue Deuce. If he's featured, Deuce could be a guy, right? That could be a thing. But if Michael Gallup can be the old Michael Gallup, you're talking about a wide receiver trio that is now lobbying, in my opinion, for the top spot. I think they're already one of the top wide receiver, barring injury and health permitted. One of the top, because you got Lamb, you got Cooks, and if Gallup's your 3, most teams would take a 3 for Gallup, like Gallup as a 3. But if Gallup as a 3 is the Gallup as a 2 in 2019, this is one of the best wide receiving groups. There's probably not 3 or 4 wide receiver groups better. So Gallup is definitely a huge wild card. Stephon Gilmore, number 6 here, wasted no time getting his hands dirty in practice, routinely being moved around to defend different receivers. Obviously, beginning with CeeDee Lamb and on more than one occasion, Michael Gallup, but also against fellow newcomer Brandon Cooks. So he talked about PBUs and whatnot with Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore was the elder statesman. Maybe he's always going to be the elder statesman out there, but he was the lone kind of super experienced guy out there. No Trayvon Diggs was out at practice. Obviously, Jordan Lewis was out. And I don't know if this is on my guys' list, which it is not. So we can go ahead and transition into this. So with Gilmore there, no Diggs, no Jordan Lewis, it was, and this is what's interesting here. Let me come back here. It was boss man fat Kelvin Joseph getting some slot duties with the backups. Deron Bland obviously is the slot corner, but when Kelvin Joseph got his name called, he was the second guy to get some reps. But here's also what I find interesting, and I'll get on the phones and see if y'all find this interesting too. For years, lots of people here in the chat have been like, man, let's see what Kelvin Joseph got at safety. And usually when you get a position change like this during a time frame or during a situation what's happening with Kelvin Joseph, it's one of those, hey, dog, this your last shot, a la Josh Ball. Josh Ball not working out at tackle, moving to guard, which we'll get to that too. So apparently Kelvin Joseph was working with the safeties in the drills. Now, during 11-on-11, he was a nickel corner, but he was working with the safeties during the drills. Let's tie this all together. We go back. And Deron Bland, when we asked Deron Bland, hey, when you got called up, you kind of was ready. Like, what happened? Because you were working outside. Yeah, but behind the scenes, I was working as a nickel. Oh, okay, makes sense. Dan Quinn comes out and says, yeah, initially we may start somebody here, but y'all don't know this, but behind the scenes, they're working on this. I wonder if Kelvin Joseph, to everyone, is the corner, but behind the scenes, they're seeing if he got something at safety as a last gasp, because you're a second-round pick, and we can't just cut you right now. We need to figure out if you could fit somewhere. Safety's a deep room. You know, corner is a deep room, but I thought he could maybe try to cut his teeth as a fifth guy. Safety's a deep room, man. Safety got the three-headed monster, and then you got guys like Marquise Bell and Israel Mukuamu that they're high on. So that's a deep room. So they're trying to figure something out with Kelvin Joseph. Let's see if he can find a way to make this team, whether it's safety, whether it's corner, but something to keep an eye on. Kelvin Joseph safety or Kelvin Joseph corner? Let's see the last two. Yeah, okay, yeah, because number 8 is where I want to get to when we want to talk about the O-line. But let me try 718 one more time. Or this is a different 718. 718, you live. Oh, wait, no, you ain't. Oh, mouse. 718, now you live. What's goody? Yeah, 718 don't even want to. This is a different 718. Hello.
Hello?
Yep, you live.
Man, it's 716, my guy.
Oh, that's why. 716. See, all right, man, I got this small ass screen. My bad, 716. There's two 716s here. Which 71 is this P?
No, it's A from Niagara Falls.
A from Niagara Falls. 716. My apologies. What's good, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on, Sky? I got a question for you. I appreciate all the work you do, but
Thank you.
see, my thing is like we're going to the West Coast, so I'm like the other caller where I feel like Dak gonna have a really good year. I feel like he gonna have like a really good year this year because I think the offense is gonna simple it. But my only thing is with the West Coast is quick. You know what I'm saying? And Dak hasn't always been the most accurate quarterback with putting the ball in the right spot. You think that's gonna be a big deal for him? I think it's something he can work on for this offseason.
I think that's a myth. But it's one of those things where it gets carried and it gets tiring trying to combat that. But I've never seen a West Coast offense not help a quarterback. So I don't know how all of a sudden a dude who's top 10 all time in completion percentage it has multiple.
No, it's not like it's like putting the placement of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like it's accuracy.
It's a myth.
So like sometimes like the ball he'll hit it'll be a completion, but it'll be like on the back hip. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a little bit too high. Whereas the West Coast, you kind of need the ball so they can, you know what I'm saying, have space to run.
Yeah, again, I think that's a myth. I think the problem is we as Cowboy fans only watched Cowboys. We only digest Cowboys. So what you don't see is the entire National Football League. No quarterback is throwing it directly on the perfect spot every single time. And if you are an inaccurate quarterback, you're not a top 10 accurate quarterback of all time from a completion percentage. Not possible, especially in an offense that does not have easy buttons for you. Think about this for a second. This is not an offense that throws a bunch of screens. This is not an offense that throws a bunch of swing passes. This is not an offense that throws a bunch of easy outs for your receivers, tight ends, running backs, where your completion percentage can be elevated. This is an offense that relies on down the field, intermediate routes, and putting the ball on the spot. And to say that Dak Prescott doesn't do that consistently, I think is a myth that people have ran with because they're not watching the rest of the league where quarterbacks constantly throw the ball in the area code. Michael Irvin said this. I don't need you to put the damn ball directly in a perfect spot every time. I need you to put it in the area code. So I think Dak Prescott does that in spades, and I'm just 10 toes. That is a complete terrible narrative that people will run with because it's easy. It's an easy thing to do, man. Pop on the film, I promise you, and go watch other quarterbacks. I promise you'll come away with, oh, shit, they doing the same thing. But nobody talking about it because we only watch the Dallas Cowboys, and we're Dallas Cowboy fans. So,
I mean, I do watch everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like this year could be similar to, Tom Brady when he first started. They say, you know what I'm saying, the nickel and diamond. You know what I'm saying, up the field, but he's always making the smart throws. I feel like this offense is going to help it. So you think it's going to be like more like Tom Brady 2003, where it's going to be like just always moving the chains?
I don't know. That's a unique offense that was tailor-made for Tom specifically. I wouldn't consider that a West Coast offense. I think this is going to be more.
But just like the concepts, not like I don't necessarily mean like for him. I just mean like the concept. Tom always got the ball out of his hands real quick. You know what I'm saying? His receivers there's always a timing. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, boom, the ball's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Dak can do that really good. So do you think it's going to be this year? That's what we're going to see more versus like we always say, like people say he's holding the ball too much.
Again, another thing where people don't understand context. You got to hold the ball to allow the route to develop. But I don't know, man, because we're not going to just be three-step drop all. I think this is getting a bit exaggerated, this call in regards to the West Coast. It's not going to just be quick game. Like I haven't heard anybody say that this is going to be quick game all the time. I think this is going to be simpler routes. You'll see there will be a slant option, but it's not going to be a bunch of slant options. You understand? There's going to be slant and there's going to be a flare route to the running back, but it's not just going to be that. I think we'll still get some downfield development and some intermediate development, but I think it'll be easier for everyone, including the quarterback, to say, okay, I got this look. I'm not expecting this wide receiver to have to pick an option route. This is what he's running. This looks dictates I don't have to go here or wait to go here. So now I can dump it off to I can dump it off to the running back, or I can wait for this shallow crosser to come and boom, I can hit him on the shallow because I know he's going to clear out that safety, and that linebacker likes to try to follow CD Lamb, and next thing you know, I got the tight end coming on the backside. Like I think it's going to be just easier from a mental standpoint, which will make it easier physically. So I don't think it's going to be Tom Brady where, again, I think that offense was dictated. When you say timing, I think the timing was pre-snap for Tom Brady. Okay, he's there. I know I got one-on-one with James White on the linebacker. I'm going to throw it to James White. That's why you see James White have 50, 60 receptions, because that offense was dictated, I think, short to deep, not necessarily deep to short like ours have been for the last 20-some years.
I appreciate it. One more question. Who do you think is going to have a bigger impact? Tight end, you know what I'm saying, the tight end group or the running back group to our offense success?
Running back, because you got a Pro Bowler back there.
I was going to say tight end. But I appreciate the call, big dog.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a Pro Bowler at running back, man. I got Tony Pollard, man, who, 1,500 all-purpose yards, dual threat running back. I mean, if the tight ends have more of an impact than our running backs, that'd be interesting. Let me ask y'all that. If the tight ends were to have more of an impact than the running backs, do you think it'd be a successful season? I think the offense would be struggling. Did y'all follow what I'm saying about this? And I swear, there's just this enormous narrative that I don't know why floats over this team's head and this quarterback's head when it comes to throwing the ball and accuracy. I felt like it was something that was talked about early in his career, and people just stuck with it. There is no way in hell you have one of the top completion percentages in the history of this game, and you're labeled an inaccurate quarterback. That is an oxymoron. If you don't know what that means, go look it up. It's impossible, because we don't have a offense that allows an inaccurate quarterback to just dump the ball off all damn game. And all these myths just all these things pop up, and then when he obliterates that, the goalpost gets pushed. Always dink and dunk Dak. The next year, he's one of the best downfield throwers, and for the rest of his career, his APY, yards per attempt, is always up there. Then y'all get mad when he's getting aggressive. Oh, he can't throw for 300. Well, that's all he does now, throw for 300. We don't want him to throw for 300. Okay. How can he be labeled dink and dunk, but inaccurate short? Dink and dunk quarterback, but is inaccurate short. That makes sense to me. Like, that don't add up. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't add up. So if he is a dink and dunk guy, that means he can do the dink and dunk things. But I don't think this is going to be a dink and dunk type of. I hate that damn term, dink and dunk. This is going to be more of with a game within the game managing it. There's obviously game management, but they're going to be playing a lot of kind of chess at the line of scrimmage pre-snap, and it's going to be easier post-snap to deal with. Jake the Great. Never late.
Can you hear me good?
Got you loud and clear.
All right. Man, you know you're my dog, right?
I'm a dog.
But, man, I got to agree with the other caller, man. Like, I'm not calling Dak inaccurate, but maybe I'm looking at him too hard. But when he throws these slant routes, it always seems like he's a little behind. And it's always like to gallop on the screen, on the slant routes. It's either on his back shoulder. It's always like behind him. He's always having to turn around. And I rarely see Dak like hit a wide receiver like in stride.
Oh God, there's another myth.
You're my dog,
this is
bro, but I be watching him, man.
Boy, this is rough,
like,
man.
Accurate.
This is rough.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. I don't know if
listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you said.
I'm hearing myself.
I rarely,
go ahead,
I rarely see him hit the wide receiver in stride. Boy, where L at?
Nah,
we need to win, L. We need to win. These fans is wild, man.
Yeah. Now listen, he's hit wide receivers in stride. I've seen that CeeDee Lamb caught the safety's face when he didn't take the business decision, catch the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's inaccurate all the time, but when I see him throw them screens, them slant, if he throws 10, at least he's like 50-50 with those slant routes, man. And if we're gonna go to the West Coast,
bro,
I'm a little iffy on that.
Do you understand 50?
I'm sorry, dog.
You understand 50-50?
I just gotta say it.
I don't.
Yeah, I know. That's
you know,
not that bad, but
I don't know if people really understand the difficulty of football. Like, do you understand what you just said? 50-50 in a slant where there's a linebacker possibly in the area, maybe a guy barreling down, and you put it in the area code where the wide receiver can catch the rock, bro? Like, what do y'all want him to be 100%? Y'all want him to be perfect on every single pass? Is that our expectations?
Nah. Well, listen, I got this image embedded in my brain.
I know you do.
I'm seeing Michael Gallup reaching back to catch it, and I'm like,
it's not every time. It's not every time, and that's the issue. And that's the issue. I think we embed every negative play of our quarterback because it's easier to be like, his fault, we hate him, as opposed to every time it's successful, we expect it to be successful. So it completely goes out of our psyche. Well, we expect that to happen. What you don't realize is that expectation happens far more often than the other thing. Far more. So when it doesn't work, that sticks out to you because you don't even see that as much as you think, but it stays in your head is longer than the other things. So I think it's a psychological thing with y'all fans, and when it comes to this quarterback, man, this quarterback can do every single thing you want him to do from a quarterback standpoint, from an arm, from a throw, from whatever you damn want. His issue ain't about what he can do on the field. It's about finishing in the playoffs, man. I don't know how many times I got to say it. I don't understand.
Hey, I know you was going to snap on me, man.
This ain't a snap, man. This ain't a snap. Because you ain't the only one who feels this way. I think the frustration with the quarterback, it allows, like you said, those plays to just stay in their head when in reality, it's far more the other side of it. But hey, man, I don't know if it's a societal thing where, like, negative things just stay with us a lot more. For instance, a lot of players say, man, losses stick with me more than wins. I think that's how fans are. The negatives stick with me more than the positives.
Yeah. I ain't going to lie. I remember all the losses, every single one of them, man, and they still hurt like yesterday.
Yeah.
But, man, maybe I'm critiquing Dak wrong. And
No.
Part to it.
No. Again, I understand because it's you just said it. It's embedded in my brain. When things are embedded like that, that's hard to get out.
Now, if he starts hitting them slants better, I just don't see it. I love Dak. I'm not gonna doubt him just because he's not hitting those slants. But man, he got to work on them, man. That's all I got. Don't block me for disagreeing with you, dog.
I ain't blocked nobody. Come on, man. Don't do that. All right, bro.
I'm just playing with you, man. Have a great day. Bounce Squad be easy.
Look, as soon as you bring up Dak, everybody calling now. Let's see. This is the Dak show. 469. Is that 469? 469. What it do?
Hey, what it do, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
Hey, man, this is my first time calling. I usually don't
now?
call, but I was just... Nah, they crazy that Dak's not accurate stuff. They crazy, bro. Then, too, you can't say that because our whole line has not fully been 100% like the whole time. So, like, I think that's fine. intermediate things around the line.
I could barely hear you, big dog. I heard
Oh,
you
my
at
bad,
first.
man.
I heard you at first, but then it kind of got some things going in the background. What'd you say?
No, I said that no, everybody's tripping about Dak not being like accurate. Like you can't also like what the point that you gave, man, is like spot on. But also too, we haven't had a full 100% healthy line in 3 seasons now. So
Oh, I'm past that.
no,
I
I
mean,
don't.
he knows how to work within the line.
Yeah, man. I said, man, you were hitting spot on with everything. This, like you said, it's an oxymoron, man. That you can't have one thing and not have the other. So that's why I said I fully agree with what you're saying, man. It doesn't make any sense. I think Dak's gonna be fine. I think the O line is the most thing to watch this season.
Yeah. It doesn't add up, you know. But again, Jake, I'm glad Jake said what he said because I think it's like this with a lot of fans. It's they have an image of a specific play or plays embedded, and that's what sticks with them. And whenever another image or play that constantly happens, in my opinion, that's a positive, it gets thrown to the wayside because we expect that to happen.
Yes, sir. All right, man. I'm not gonna hold you long, man. I appreciate it for the call. Appreciate it for everything you do.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I will get some more. We waiting for B. There he goes. We waiting no longer. We got the Better Call Saul in Dallas. My guy Brian Pope of the Cochran Firm. What's good, B?
Oh man, big holiday weekend coming up. Will,
man, look, I'm ready for it.
Well, you know, we'll get to. I got to address this Dak thing because this is a burning issue with me and my Cowboy buddies. So. But first, I just want to tell everybody, be careful, be safe out there this weekend. There's going to be people out on the roads that have been drinking, maybe doing some other stuff, celebrating, you know, our holiday. And, you know, from my perspective, be safe. Take ride shares if you feel like maybe you shouldn't get behind the wheel because we see a big uptick, Will, in accidents over the holiday weekends. And, you know, I mean, obviously if people get in accidents, they can come to me for help and the Cochran Firm, but I'd prefer everybody just be safe.
Yeah, that's one of the main things for holidays. Definitely in Dallas, man, because people can't drive. But go ahead, B.
Yeah, that's Dallas. That's Mid-Cities. That's Fort Worth. That's all over.
Texas. Let me just say that.
Yeah, no kidding. And like we talked about last week with that insurance, you know, don't assume anybody driving out there who's not doing what they need to be doing on the road is going to have insurance. So take care of yourself before you get on the road. That's what I'm saying. Gotcha.
What you think so far about all the OTA notes, man? That's happening down there. Matter of fact, we didn't touch on the offensive line, but I don't know if you heard. They got Tyron Smith working out there at right tackle. And they're looking to focus yeah, I know. They're looking to focus Tyler Smith at left tackle. Now, Terrence Steele ain't there yet. He ain't there yet. But if Terrence Steele comes back and he's at left guard, I swear, man.
I like it.
You like it? Ugh.
If you bring Terrence Steele back and Tyler Smith and Tyron on the right.
Oh, no. I'm saying I'm talking about Terrence Steele playing left guard.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that one if that's the move. I'd much rather them when Terrence Steele comes back, he works at right tackle, and then Tyron's your swing tackle. The problem is that kind of leaves your left guard spot a little bit void.
I mean, I think ultimately, you know, like we were, I was listening, driving in to the callers about Dak. Is there any other, I guess, topic that gets the Cowboy Nation going more so than talking about Dak?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean,
this is the one.
I'm a Dak defender. Will, you know that. I think that he's maligned unnecessarily, unfairly. But, you know, the bottom line is, Will, until we start winning playoff games on a regular basis and go to championships,
that's where it is. I think
they're not going to give it.
You breaking up? Hello? Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're just not going to give him his due. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. But I think we're thinking too hard when it comes to him. He quite literally can do everything you want your quarterback to do. That from a quarterback standpoint, from an athletics, whatever, he can do it all. The issue is just winning in the postseason, performing at a high. Let's be real. The issue is beating the damn 49ers in the postseason, okay? Because he plays well against everybody else. He doesn't play well against the Niners for whatever damn reason. But that is the thing.
I mean,
get into the postseason, get some postseason wins, and let's see what happens from there. But from a quarterback standpoint, I mean, they're myths. My guy, Professor O, just dropped one. Dak was graded as a very good or elite in accuracy. He says on 77.1% of his attempts, only 2.9% of his attempts were behind the receiver. And, you know, this is what I mean by when people say, oh, he throws behind the receiver. I think you're just going with this narrative that might have been surfaced in 2017 when he was a second-year, fourth-round quarterback. We're in 2023, man. There's enough film and observation and statistics and analysts that can show you that the dude is an accurate quarterback. I don't know what else I could say here.
I mean, I agree, and I think you hit it on the mark when you said that, you know, what we demand as Cowboy Nation
Perfection.
is perfection.
We demand perfection.
And anything short of perfection is something that, you know, we criticize, and it just feeds on itself, and eventually you're like, why are we paying him the money? Why, let's just get somebody else in who can carry the ball. I mean, he is. As you said, he's one of the more accurate quarterbacks, not only in the league but in league history.
I mean, how are you an accurate quarterback, bro? When you're top 10 all time in completion percentage, that quite literally makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense.
I mean, last year he had so many bad breaks. Last year, I mean, you know how many dropped, bounce off the chest in the middle of the numbers passes did he have that were intercepted?
So let me
they don't.
Let me be fair, though.
They don't count.
Let me be fair, bro.
The receiver, they count against the quarterback.
You're right. Let me be fair. But one thing you'll never hear me talk about is that, though. If you notice, when I'm talking about Dak Prescott, I don't ever bring that up because you can go the other way, right? What about the ones that drop? Because that's what people that don't like the quarterback want to say. Interceptions are going to happen, man. It is what it is. We understand that most what happened last year from an interception standpoint, well, at least I do, is an anomaly. This dude has been one of the quarterbacks who throws least interceptions, you know, throughout the season, throughout his career. So I look at it as an anomaly. So if we want to say last year, bad interception year, yeah, let's put it on him. If you want to put it on him, bad year. You can't have those picks, Dak. That's terrible. Don't do it again type situation. I just don't expect it to happen again because throughout his career, he's always been a guy that takes care of the ball from an interception standpoint. He had issues fumbling for quite some time, but interceptions was never really a big deal to him until last year. So to me, that's an anomaly that I think will be cleaned up because the schematics will be a bit simpler for everyone across the board. But I'm not going to talk about those.
About schematics.
He did them.
Talking about schematics. There was an interesting article in the morning news today about how he feels like the communication line between him and McCarthy is so much clearer now because he's got McCarthy in his ear instead of Kellen Moore, and he feels like they're going to be on the same page more often and earlier in the season. Yeah.
I think McCarthy's going to help Dak a lot more than people realize, and not just from a schematic standpoint. I think this will be the first time he will really, really be coached probably since not Callahan. Who was after Callahan? Linehan. All these hands. I think this will be the first time he'll be able to be coached since Linehan from a play caller standpoint. Because I don't believe Kellen Moore was really coaching Dak Prescott, and I can confirm that from a former coach.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, McCarthy is here. He's not going anywhere, and might as well take over the reins of the offense because that's why he's here. So let's hope he can make a difference. But Dak's not. And I love the question about that your caller had about tight end versus running back. What in your corollary to that was, well, so if the tight ends have a better year than the running backs, is it a good year? And the answer to that is no.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like our offense would be in a bit of trouble if the tight ends are more. I think he said more productive. Somewhere around that. I don't know if it was more productive or more important. If the tight ends are more of the reason your offense is whatever it is, whether that's good or bad, I don't know, man. That'd be interesting.
Now, talking about the, I guess that 2003 Tom Brady, that caller, I would like to see more, maybe more screens and swing passes to TP.
Yeah.
Because I think you get him the ball in the open field, and he's going to make a miss.
Yeah, I mean, and
So
going back,
I would like to see that feature.
I think you will. I think you are. And hell, now I'm thinking about it, laughing about the accuracy thing. His completion percentage is probably going to go up because there's going to be a lot more easier passes that'll hit from a swing pass standpoint, flare routes, wheel routes, slants, shallow crosses, things like that. But, people are probably still going to complain that, you got to put that here, you got to put that there type situation. But, yeah, I think this offense is going to be a lot more easy buttons than he's ever had in his career.
Oh, and, we got Brandon Cooks. We haven't even really talked about the impact he's going to have on potentially getting CeeDee Lamb more open.
I think they did a good job of moving around Lamb last year to get him to rock. The problem was the defense could easily take him out when it mattered the most if you continue to do the same things with him. And we saw that against the Jaguars where he was predominantly playing in the slot, and then, they said, okay, it's nut up time. It's time for you to make a play. We're going to put 3 dudes on CeeDee Lamb, and they sent Noah Brown down the seam, and Noah Brown drops the ball on the Hail Mary on 3rd and 10, which is stupid to do. And then the same thing happened later in the game. You would hope you would get a one-on-one with CeeDee Lamb, but instead they want to run this kind of cross route to get the linebackers in a bind, and Noah Brown drops the ball for an interception.
Well, but I think they assumed that Michael Gallup would be able to do that role last year, and he never was able to step up like we needed him to. And so, if Brandon Cooks can do what they wanted Gallup to do last year, and then let Gallup do what he did, the first year, then they're off to the races. So anyway,
indeed. Man.
Well, it's an exciting time. It's off season's always fun because that's when the debates just rage, right?
Well, it don't matter about the off season when it comes to Dak, brother. It can be any time of the year, man. He could retire 10 years from now. You say Dak, and it goes crazy, yeah.
I know, but at least in this season, there's some evidence that people could point to and say, this is working, that's not working, he's doing this or he's doing that. But in the off season, people just rely on what happened in the past and just assume. Anyway, it's kind of like what lawyers do.
Hey, man, tell them about
rely on the evidence.
Tell them about the evidence and what y'all do down there, B.
Well, I was alluding to it early in the call. We represent people who've been injured in car accidents, truck wrecks, motorcycle accidents. Unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of drunk driving accidents this weekend, like I just mentioned. We represent people who get injured on the job, at the workplace. Sometimes represent people for employment discrimination and other non-personal injury matters. But give us a call at 1-800-THE-FIRM at CochranTexas.com is our website. And if we can't help you, then we'll certainly point you in the right direction and make sure we get you taken care of because as you know, Will, Cochran cares.
Cochran cares. My God, Brian Pope down there from Cochran Firm. Appreciate you calling in as always, B. You have a good weekend and you be safe, man.
Safe and fun holiday weekend, Will, and the entire A to Z Sports Nation.
Thank you, brother. That is Brian of the Cochran Firm, ladies and gentlemen, coming through our version of Better Call Saul. But he's better. All right, we got a couple more, and I'm going to read some super chats here. And we're going to get up out of here, man, and enjoy this weekend. I think I already got 716. There was 2 of them earlier. Let's get 325. You are live. What's good, 325?
Good morning to you, Will. Oh, just having a good morning. I called in just a couple calls ago. I wanted to talk about this Terrence Steele switch, but
okay.
If the Hattie B flavor of the day is Dak, I am a huge Dak defender, man.
Yeah, it's true. They try to cook him. Yeah, go
ahead. Let me just say something, man. I want y'all to think back to 2016, Dak's rookie year. We all know how it went. It was a magical year, 13-3, and he had some Greek god level offensive line around him, yada yada. But this man, at the end of the season, went toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers and was one borderline miracle play away for, Jared Cook? From going overtime with Aaron Rodgers. And then you look at 2017, the beginning of the rapid, and I mean rapid, guys, decline the roster around him. Didn't have his center, right, 2017? That was when Travis Frederick went out?
I believe that was 2018. That was the year that Zeke was just in and out from suspension. You start seeing the wide receiver core just diminish. Yeah.
And so you go along the years of his career, and this man went from dink and dunk Dak to renowned
now he's
gunslinger.
too aggressive. Now he's too aggressive, Dak. I mean, what the fuck?
Now it's regressive, bro. But I just want y'all to look at his timeline. This man has gotten better and better no matter the situation around him. This man has continued to claw his way to the heights of gunslinger status. And not just gunslinger status, but like elite gunslinger status. This man can actually go toe-to-toe with anybody except apparently the 49ers. But it's not unreasonable to think that he's going to take this playoff experience and use it to be better in the playoffs. Like, you're not going to find a better quarterback situation if you move on from Dak. You're simply not.
I mean, initially, probably not. We had this conversation. We did a whole entire show, I think, after the season about it. Like, all right, let's have the conversation. You move on for him. What are you willing to risk? Are you willing to risk, a number of years not being good? Because that's usually what happens. And some people are. And look, at some point, that'll happen if he doesn't finish in the next couple seasons, or if he gets the contract extension, he probably still will have a expiration date on it. But the thing is, I'm not blind to what needs to happen with him. I'm absolutely not. But what is what I think people are blind to. And I think what is that you've got a top 10 quarterback in this league. And when you got a top 10 quarterback in this league, you need to find a way to be able to win with them. And I think you can find a way to win with them. And that's just the bottom line with them, man. But people have their opinions on them. They don't like them, and they're going to stand on that. I always find it interesting. Those people, because I can have the conversation. I can have the conversation about if he fails or when he fails, or we can talk about it, why this may happen, the decision was bad, whatever. We can have that conversation. No problem about it. We can talk about the flaws. We can talk about whatever it is that is a negative aspect. But how come the other side never says, well, you know what? If this happens, I think Dak Prescott, or I think Dak Prescott is good at this, and I think he can do. They never want to have that side. What if this happens? It's always, well, what if Dak Prescott fails again? Okay, what if he succeeds? Crickets. You know what I'm saying? And it's just weird, because I can have both sides of those conversations, but they can't.
They can't. And the biggest key right now is the defense that we've got going on with Dan Quinn, year 3, this elite, oh man, it's having the quarterback like Dak to complement that is just an embarrassment of riches, honestly.
Oh yeah, your team is set up, man.
Heck yeah, I appreciate the call. I do want to say one thing though. I did call about Terrence Steele. I just think, what if we put him at left guard, and the dude is our next Zach Martin at left guard?
Well, shit, then boy, I will look. I'll put some hot sauce. I'll put some Hattie B's hot. What is it? Shut the damn cluck up sauce on that crow. Cause boy, I don't see that happening at all. But if that happens, man, we talk about Tyler. I mean, you talk about the 5. Your best 5 is just altered. I still don't like it though. Now that I'm talking myself into it, let me tell you why I don't like it, bro. Because Tyron Smith is going to get hurt. So when Tyron Smith gets hurt, guess who's going back out there?
Yeah, I think if you think about his skills, right tackle's probably the best.
Yeah, what are we doing here, man? Just keep him there.
But I appreciate you, brother. You have a good morning, all right?
My guy, appreciate it, dog. Yeah, just keep Terrence Steele at right tackle. If they truly don't want to move Tyler Smith, and we don't know, one practice. If they truly don't want to move Tyler Smith into left guard, then make Tyron Smith your swing tackle. That left guard spot, boy, would be rough, but it is what it is. This is what they set themselves up with. And last note, I guess, from OTAs yesterday, with Zach Martin out, who was out, not due to injuries, he's just out. With Zach Martin out, with Terrence Steele out, the lineup went Tyler, Forniak, Biotish, Ball. Man, please don't let the worst case scenario happen. Ball and Tyron Smith. Let me just tell you something right now. If for whatever reason the Cowboys have to roll out that lineup, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Josh Ball and Matt Forniak is on the opposite sides of Tyler Biotish. Boy, who do I help? They both need it. I don't like it. But that's what the lineup was yesterday. But that's because you had Steele still out. You had Zach Martin out. Edoja wasn't a guy that they had starting. He was getting a rotation. But again, like we talked about yesterday with Pat Walker, this is going to be something that is constantly a revolving door until later in training camp. They're going to try a lot of things out. It's going to be a lot of experimentation, man. All right. Start backwards with these super chats. B. Bird dropped one earlier. Man, I forgot I got a different
super chat.
Talked about HTM Sports. He shout out to HTM Sports. I'm not super familiar with him, but I see him with Tyson and I see him with Landlord a lot. But he was part of that group that did the interview with Jalen Tover. He says, why is HTM Sports still at only 855 subs when he's one of the hardest working Cowboys content creators? Cowboy fans, we can do better than that. I'm not familiar with his channel. I didn't even know he had a channel. I thought he was just with those guys. But if he has a channel, man, make sure I go sub up if he's a quality guy. This community, man, continues to be deep, a very deep community. Towboat Ty dropped one.
Super chat.
Says, through 7 seasons, Dak has better numbers than Brady, Breeze, and Big Ben. The numbers don't lie, so what? He don't have a ring? Well, I can't say so what. A ring yet. It took Manning 10 seasons for his first. Elway was 34. Shut the cluck up. See how I remix that toe? I mean, look, man. I don't even know what else to say anymore about this, dog. You got a good quarterback. You got a damn good quarterback. I don't know. I've never seen a fan base nitpick the shit out of a damn good quarterback as much as this one. Now, you want to talk about the playoffs and having to step up in the playoffs? Fine. Like, against the 49ers, yeah, that's really where it matters. Like, it matters in the postseason. And even in the postseason, I would have rather him flip the game. And here's where I'm going to go with this. Balled the hell out against the Bucs. But if you go watch some of these postseason runs, a lot of the times these quarterbacks are not just going to be flawless every game. You'll get a few. You'll get I think Eli Manning won like 11 touchdowns, 0 interception run. I think Joe Flacco won like 11 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, 0 interception run before. But normally you might have a bump in the road. Joe Burrow. We love Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, fantastic quarterback. He's had a couple bumps in the roads, but his team ended up winning the game anyway. You know, and I would have rather the bump in the road came in the first game because I thought we still had the ability to get it done as opposed to the second game where the team was more depleted. I thought it was a worse matchup from this season to compared to last season against the Niners, and he had the bad game. So I just think he needs to find that flow in the postseason. Before the Niners, though, I thought he played good enough in every game. But the Niners have just got his number. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to sit here and act like he was good in that game. He was not. He was not good enough in that game, in either game. And he needs to be better in those games. He needs to be. So if they get the Niners again, hey, man, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. I don't care how it gets done. Get it the hell done. But one thing I'm not going to sit here and act like is that this guy is not a good quarterback. He's not one of the top 10 quarterbacks in this league. That's just goofy talk, man. Tobo dropped another one.
Super chat.
You can't debate facts and numbers. They don't lie. And then Armand George dropped one and said, if Mike McCarthy gets us to the NFC Championship and or beyond, these last 4 years was a waste because of Kellen. Hold up, Armand. That's a conversation to have right there. And I think I said this the other day. Maybe it was on Vach's show when I was like, I think a caller called in and maybe it was just me and Vach talking. There's a running theme of, hey, man, I'll get rid of Mike McCarthy for Dan Quinn, even if Mike McCarthy wins a Super Bowl. And I rebutted. I said, if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, it'll be because of Mike McCarthy, not Dan Quinn. If the Cowboys win the Super Bowl because of Mike McCarthy, not Dan Quinn. The defense is the defense. It's been the defense since Dan Quinn got here. The offense has been the issue in the playoffs the last 2 seasons. The offense has been that weird, clunky offense. Strangely enough, 2016 and 2018 under Scott Linehan, I don't think the offense struggled as much. I don't think it struggled as much. So there's that. Is that a bit of a hot take? I should have used that from my Hattie B's hot take. If the Cowboys win the bowl or go to the NFC Championship game, I think it'd be more because of Mike than Dan. There you have it. Facts, Chris. I mean, we can bring up Trent Dilfers and all that stuff too. But Chris, see, when it comes to this guy, and this is starting to be eerily similar to Tony, and I hate it. We throw context out the window. Context don't matter. Results do. And I've just come to terms with it. And if those results happen to go in the Cowboys' favor one time, I still believe there's a section of this fan base that'll be cringing their teeth because they wrong. Right? They wrong. With that said, man, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. We got the 10 o'clock, perfect time. Yo, Tom, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's wild. Perfect timing, man. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's show. It's Friday, so there will be no, I almost called him Professor. There will be no Mo, not Professor O, no Mo later tonight for A to Z Sports Primetime. So make sure y'all enjoy y'all holiday weekend. I will not be here Monday. We are off. We have a real holiday, so we are not, when I say real, you know what I mean. We have a holiday, so we are off. I'll be back Tuesday. So will the Voss Lombardi live show, so we'll be on together after the morning show. Y'all make sure y'all get out there this weekend. Cookouts, barbecues, whatever you're having. You have a good time. You're safe. You got graduation. Shout out to Oscar. Oscar said my son is graduating high school tomorrow. Proud dad moment. Salute to you, Oscar. Man, I can't wait for that. I got about 6 more years. I got some time. Before I get to that point. But, man, I can only imagine, man. You did a great job. Congrats to your son. Congrats to you as well. If they walk in that stage, man, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff right there. So, best wishes moving forward to all. If you're a parent out there with a graduate, hey, man, congratulations to your child and to you for raising that child to walk that stage. With that said, I think I'm gonna press this button. Y'all know I don't got no mouse, and I'm on a whole different situation here, so no mouse, but we good. Enjoy y'all weekend. I know I am. I'm chilling. Hey, if you in the Dallas area, make sure y'all come down to Hattie B's as well. Get yourself a Shut the Cluck Up Hattie B's hot chicken. And make sure I use that promo code in the description for your boy. We out of here.